Hey there, Kenneth French of Vast Voice, telling business secrets to entrepreneurs. We're very, very happy you stopped by. Either you're going to watch this or listen to this because you want to take your business to the next level. You're probably an entrepreneur who's either just starting out or you've been around for quite a while and you want to take your business to the next level. You're probably a real estate investor, maybe even a real estate agent, maybe a professional or of some sort, professional advisor of some sort. And well, you are stopping by because you need some valuable advice from one of the top industry leaders there is. Anyway, thank you very much. Once again, Kenneth French, Vast Voice, telling business secrets to entrepreneurs. Really glad you stopped by.
We're hanging out with the relationship queen, Amanda Webster. What's going on?
Oh, just doing everything every day, all day long.
Yeah, I know. I've seen you work the relationships. You're one of those master marketers. You're really good. I'm excited to chat with you because you're going to add value to the people who are going to be listening, watching all over the country. We're going to be talking about relationships and how you have become so successful, and you're going to add some value to me and those people who are out there watching and listening. How does that sound?
Sounds amazing.
I like that. Tell me who you are. Tell me who the relationship queen is, first of all.
So Amanda Webster, first and foremost, I am a mother of 5.
Crazy.
And
Wow. Yeah.
I'm a military spouse. My husband actually hits 24 years here real soon in the military, and doesn't feel like retiring anytime soon. So that allows me to wear all these different hats in that. And then career side, I started in law. I actually ran law firms. I was in law for 17 years, made a jump during COVID for just, I was burnt out, to be honest, and ended up getting into the financial space. So I was with one company for about 5 years, took over a different role recently in the beginning of this year, and just rocking it on all different fronts.
Yeah, I like that. You're obviously well known in the marketplace as far as relationship building, getting centers of influence, and affiliates. Let's just jump to. I'm going to ask you one question. In that regard, what's one thing, one tip you would give to a business owner who's trying to grow his or her own practice based on some of the expertise that you hold?
So I would say that everything comes down to relationships. And that is a firm thing that I believe, from your employees to your clientele to your partners. Everything comes down to relationships because we're all people. We all want to feel heard and all of those things. So the one thing I would say is never make the relationship transactional.
Mm.
I understand that it will be in a lot of cases, but don't make it about the transaction. I have so many relationships with people who I may not ever make money with, but they know somebody else who I might make money with. So
Mm.
don't ever discount the power of that, and come from a really authentic place of, it's about the relationship, and that whole cliche, your network is your net worth. It's true. It truly can be this thing. And, it's the same thing with clients giving you referrals. It's the same type of thing. Don't make it transactional. Be authentic and actually care about people, and lots of magic can happen.
So that's the number one thing. The reason you would say you've been so successful in your business is it's not a transaction. It's kind of a long-term play, if you will.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't ever want to burn a bridge. I want to keep my relationships forever. I still talk to people from the law community. I still talk to people from my first financial side. I'm in all types of masterminds and in different groups, and it doesn't matter. I love people, so it's easy for me. Some people it's a little bit harder. I'm an extrovert. I love people, but at the end of the day, it's all about relationships. Every time you focus on that, you will make money.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I get you. Okay. So what's the one thing you would say that you have failed in that you've somehow turned around? So meaning turn a negative into a positive. I know it's a weird question, but I'm gonna throw out some hard questions.
I think it's always, I think in the early stages, especially when I transitioned to the financial side, was that it doesn't matter how, if you fail somebody, if you make somebody mad, whether it's a client, whether it's a relationship, whatever it is, I think if you always approach it from the part of, what can I do for you? What can I do to make you in a better place? What can I do to give you? And I didn't always look at it that way.
Mm.
In the legal world, it was just different. So I had to learn and kind of rethink that in my brain. And I now have, it's an everyday thing of like, if I always just come from a place of giving, no matter, even when they're angry. I had that today. Got off the phone call with somebody who was just not happy with something that happened within the office. And it was, you turn it around by making it about them, listening to them, and truly making them feel like a human versus just a transaction. And you can turn it around. And also being okay with saying no. Oh, being okay with,
Mm.
if the relationship isn't the right one, sometimes you don't have to burn the bridge, but you just walk away. It's okay.
Yeah, no, I totally get that. So you mentioned earlier mastermind. That just kind of reminded me of something because I know it sounds like you're in a whole bunch of masterminds. What is it about masterminds that's helped you? Like I would assume with affiliates. What has been the big bonus there?
I think masterminds for me have two really key components. Is one, they're always putting me in a place of learning. I'm always learning different things. I'm always seeing what other people are doing. I always want to be in a room with people who are better, bigger, wiser than myself, but also learning how to command a room, even when you might not feel like you're supposed to, like you may not feel like you're big enough to be in that room. And coming in with confidence has landed me, again, coming in with that relationship in mind. I have made millions of dollars in those mastermind groups. And it's
Mhm.
not even about the transaction, it has been about you want to work with people who you know, like, and trust. Always. That's how we all are wired as humans.
Help me on that because I'm only in one, yeah, basically in one mastermind. So if you said you've made millions, maybe I should be in more. Tell me a little bit about masterminds because a lot of people out there, we have a lot of real estate investors, pretty high net worth, some real estate agents who I don't think are in masterminds, but I think should be. So that's the
Yeah.
reason I asked that question. Give me a little bit of education about mastermind.
So you always want to approach master. First of all, you should always be in one, in my
Oh, wait, wait,
opinion.
wait. Define a mastermind first of all. Let's go over the
Ooh,
basics.
ooh.
Explain mastermind. Yeah.
All right. So if it's a true mastermind, it should be a collection of people who are in a similar industry, similar space, right? That are varying sizes, right? You don't want to always just have all the highest earners in that group. You want to have a varying sizes because everyone needs to learn,
Mhm.
but they have to be similar vertical, similar industry, similar something to you. And it's just a collection of people that are there to help. That's the key of a mastermind is they actually have to be there to help the others within that mastermind, right? Because if we're all coming in to give, everybody gets things, right? So
Mhm.
I think that's the biggest way that I look at it, and assessing it should be the same way, right? If you are not in a mastermind currently, get yourself in a mastermind, right? But you have to figure out what's the right one for you. Well, it should be people that you could build mentorship relationships with, people who have already been where you're going to be. And then on the reverse side, also, if you're in the middle of your career, having ones that you can also give that forward and mentor other people, right? So you should be able to have all of that within one group. I like multiple groups because you get different people, right? You get different things. And yes, there's a lot of money to be made in masterminds, both direct and indirect. In the affiliate partnership space, always a great play to be in masterminds because it's just, again, a big network of people. But I always come in with that, like, how can I give to the group and how can I also learn from the group? Because that's really what I want to be there for.
I'm gonna have a bone to pick with you on that. Why haven't you started a mastermind? Because you seem like the relationship queen, right? Why haven't you started one? I don't think you have.
I have
Ooh,
not.
gotcha, gotcha.
I have not. However, I am in the process of acquiring one currently. I won't give, but it is a female mastermind type of group. I'll start there. And it is on my radar to at least build a community, right? So a community is a little different than a mastermind. Um, Typically, it's a virtual thing. It's not, most masterminds you're meeting in person at least a couple times a year, things like that. So, I think it's also timing, and there is an expense to starting a mastermind that you have
You're
to.
rich. Who cares? Come on. Huh.
So no, I think it's the timing, right? So I love the ones I'm in. I love giving in them. I speak at some of them depending on which one, and things like that. So I enjoy it, and I think, yeah, I'm gonna acquire one and see how that takes off, and then I might
I mean,
go where it goes.
the big guy's impressed. Nice acquiring one. That's probably easy way to kind of get up to speed quickly, as long as you have the
Mhm.
dough to do it. And then I'm sure your ROI is going to be there. Nice work. Wow. Okay. So I guess I take that bone to pick back. Nice work. So, hold on. And you just mentioned also, I guess basically, most of our people don't have meetups. I think you're in a meetup, if I remember correctly. Can you take a second to talk about how
Yeah,
meetups have helped
yeah.
you in growing your business?
So I'm in the Tampa Bay market in Florida. And I do have a meetup as well, which is very different than a mastermind, right? It's more informal. It's more a way, and it's usually your direct colleagues, people you work with, things like that in there. But I actually look at meetups a little bit different because I work from home. I look at meetups as a way to get me out of my home office, right? Get me out in the community and be able to hopefully meet new people locally that I can continue to build, just a nice little local network. I typically don't make a lot of money out of the meetups. It's more just a social type of thing. Now, there are definitely industries that have meetups where you can make money, but that's kind of it's not really structured, it's informal. You might get 10 or 15 people, and you might get 2 people. It just kind of depends. But yeah, I do one once a month here in the Tampa Bay market, and I enjoy it just for the social aspect of it.
Hmm. I like this so far. So far, we're talking about doing meetups, masterminds, acquiring a mastermind. I like that. And then also not making it transactional. So, of the things we have talked about so far, what's one other thing that you think could add value to a business owner? Let's say, with respect to relationships, that's a real estate agent, real estate investor, maybe who sells a widget, and let's just say they're a high net worth individual and they want to take their business, their assets to the next level.
I think it's the community probably. The community is the next thing that a lot of people discount is developing a, free community group, let's say on Facebook, whatever it is to get out there and create, the ability for you to control what's being put into that community, right? You're able to use it as an engine to educate, say, your clients, educate people within your market, to kind of build almost a pipeline of things. It won't be directly transactional, but it can be. It's less about relationships and more about education typically when you're looking at the community side, but you get to control it and you get to see and direct kind of where it goes. Whereas a mastermind, you have less control because there's so many pieces. So I think that's another thing that people discount is you can make really awesome free communities and then you can roll them up into paid communities depending on what your business model is. If you're in real estate, you can create ones that are just for the purpose of finding leads on properties and things like that. So there's a lot of different ways you can use communities. uh Facebook is just usually the most notorious one. I know like LinkedIn has some like groups and things within it, but I've never really been that successful on that platform in that sense. But I'm in several community groups here on Facebook, and it's great. I can poke in when I want to. I know who's running it. You can see, the content is put out. But it's an engaging way to keep your clients engaged. It's a way to farm some more clients. It can be a referral network without paying referral fees. There's a lot of different things you can do in a community.
Now we started a community in December, and I thought, we get whatever 20, maybe 30 people, and it's anywhere from free. We have a free version with about 100 people, and then we start. We have something a community called Vast Vault, all the way to $199 a month, and now we have over 800 people in it. And I would say, at least, I don't care at what level you are, but I made that question assuming you're a high net worth individual. I don't care at what level. It makes sense to start a community. I mean,
Mhm.
if you're a
Yep.
business owner, entrepreneur, because man, again, we started at zero in December, and here we are, just over 900 people, actually almost 1,000. Think about that. I mean,
Yep.
we had no clue it was going to grow to the extent it has. Plus, with all our content, $199 a month isn't a lot of money overall for someone who's going to get a lot of value out of it. I'd say start a community if you're an entrepreneur, just like you're talking about.
Yeah, it's a huge multiplier too. When you can get in there and get a monthly recurring revenue stream going, that you are typically you can reuse everything you're putting in there as well in different
Totally.
sources. So it's a super low lift once you get it going, and the return on it is can be tremendous. I know several people who have great paid communities, and it's the best thing they ever did for themselves.
I would say it's one of the best. I mean, our company's been around since 1969, and we were thinking, well, we're kind of an old school company. Not much is going to happen. But basically, it's been helping us in marketing too. So people go into the community, they get the content, then they want to come on board with us with other stuff, and at the
Yep.
same time, then they want to be a part of it and help grow it. So they get referral fees, affiliate fees or what have it. That's been a huge deal.
Yep.
I think we're not really ready for a mastermind per se, even though I don't know what the difference really is between a community and mastermind. But what I would say is for the people out there, they really should start a community. I mean, I'm glad you mentioned that.
Yeah. I would say for a mastermind, if you want to go to that level, just you have to have some type of in my opinion, in person event at least once, twice a year. I think that's because you really got to get in person, in my opinion, to really deep dive into what are some issues you have in your business that other people can help you solve, right? That's the biggest thing that you get out of a mastermind. So you can definitely do it, and you can start small. You don't have to start with 300 people in your mastermind. You can start with 10.
This, you really are right. I mean, like I said, we didn't even think the community would work to the extent it has. So we should probably go down the path of a mastermind. Plus, usually they charge pretty good amounts of money because they're bringing in like people to, add value to one another.
And your community is your first pipeline for that. Your paid community is your first pipeline to test would a mastermind work right now.
Yeah, totally, totally. Wait a minute, before I forget, how does someone get a hold of you if they're if they want to learn about your services or whatever the case would be?
So I am on all of the regular social media platforms, and pretty much any of them. You just do Amanda Webster COO, and you'll be able to find me, my content, what I'm doing, how I'm helping entrepreneurs. And if you ever want to learn about masterminds, I've got a handful that I love. A lot of them are in the real estate, specific industry, but I have some that aren't. And it's always fun to bring new people in.
Do you want to talk about a couple of those masterminds? I mean, I don't know if you get affiliate fees. I don't know how that works, but you want to mention a couple
I
or no?
So again, I'm not transactional, so I don't actually care about that side of it. But
Look at
um,
you, Amanda Webster. Yeah, relationship queen. Hey.
my favorites, Investor Fuel is one that I love. Mike Hambright is a friend of mine. I love. I'm actually going to be going out here real soon. There's an event coming up that I get to speak at. Um, you you're familiar. There's an invite only one called Family that is very specific for coaches, mostly in that real estate sector. Probably one of the bigger ones on the in-person side. I have one that's called the No Women, which is just a nice big organization. It has thousands of members.
Hmm.
They do all types of events all over the US, but it's women that are in the C-suite or entrepreneur side women. That it's literally there to help, right? Women helping women. Coaching Inc. is a newer one that I jumped into with my buddy Tom Kroll. Love him, love everything he does. So I actually haven't gone to an event yet, but I will hopefully be getting to one soon. But yeah, I mean, those are probably my tops. I have a few others. I'm not going to say the one that I'm acquiring yet because it's not public. But it's a woman one as well, although it's sitting in the real estate world at the moment, but it's me and a partner are doing it together, and we have plans to branch out and not just sit in that real estate space, because there's so many people in real estate that they do other things also besides real estate, right? It's like it's like the center, but there's all these other things, and I want to be able to invite other people. So yeah, no, it's
Sure.
and
Sure.
and they're
Sure.
everywhere, right? Collective Genius is a great one. Genius Network is a great one. There's a ton of them out there that are really great to be involved in.
Real quickly, and you don't have to give the name or any of the specifics, but how do you buy or acquire a mastermind? I'm interested in that personally, but you want to just shed a
So
little bit without
yeah,
specific?
it's it's a cliche answer right now for this, but it was all about the relationship. So
Uh,
I joined this group, really got close with the owner of this mastermind. She's much older. This one's been around for 19 years. So
Holy
she's
mackerel!
yeah, next year's the 20th anniversary. She's just really done. Like, she's ready to be done. And funny enough, she approached me, and it was just from building the relationship, being my authentic self, always being helpful. At all the events, I would always be there early, checking in. What do you need help with? How
Hmm.
can I make this better? Because I know the more that I help and I'm visible, the more experience I'm going to get at that event and at that mastermind. So, and it's the same way with the one that you and I, have mutual in common. I'm always willing. I reach out to the one in charge of that all the time. Do you need anything? Do you need help? I'm here local in Tampa. What do you need from me? And so it was all about the relationship. So she actually reached out to me, and then we connected with the other woman who she thought would be a great counterpart. And the deals, it's the ink has been signed, but we have a few other things to work out before I announce it.
Nice. I like that. Congratulations. Sounds like it's going to go well. Anything you're involved in, I'm sure it's going to go well. You're going to be a-okay.
No, I
Anything,
love it. Yeah.
you're going to be a-okay. Anything in closing you want to throw out to the people who are watching, listening, et cetera, who are mainly real estate investors all over the U.S.?
I would say I always say relationship in first position, inside and outside your business. It really needs to be almost part of your core value of, like, same way within your business. Treat your employees like humans, to help build those relationships. It helps you also hire fast, fire fast, which is another thing that I love to educate people on, because you don't want to keep bad employees around, right? But point being is, if you really invest in people's relationships, they're going to stay long term. They're going to end up growing into key employees, and then the same thing relationship, right? If on the outside, if you are growing these networks, if you're growing these relationships, you just never know where those will happen. I've got somebody that I connected with at an event who's looking for a new CMO role. Then I get connected, on a mastermind call, someone says they need a CMO. Now I've connected them, and I think they're going to hire her. And so I've made this nice relationship that I'm super proud of. Like, that makes me, but that fills my cup. That's like my personal passion. So that's probably why it works really well, because I don't have to try. It's just innately in me. But if it's not, it's worth making it, right? Making the effort. Um, Tom Kroll, I'll quote him, he always has the 40. You pick 40 people that are your key people you always want to have in your network, and you reach out to them every single week. Every single week, you reach out to those 40 people and make sure you've at least said hello and checked in on them. And I don't do it quite as well as he does, but I strive to.
Holy Mary, that's a big one. Hold on, yeah, we could have gone over that for hours. That's a really good idea.
Yeah. That's his little philosophy. I luckily am one of his 40, which I feel very grateful for.
Oh, serious, nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
It
that's
makes me
interesting.
happy.
I've never heard of that. I mean, it makes sense. It makes perfect sense, actually. Hmm. Wow. Okay. All right. Wow. The relationship queen. Nice, man. Amanda Webster. Wow. This has been a good time. I think, I like sitting chatting with you. You're a nice lady. You're one of those ladies you're a giver. And that's a big thing. I mean, I think you're a giver that doesn't want to necessarily, or doesn't expect something. And that's why, you've had such success.
Yeah. I will thank my parents for that, because I definitely got that from them. I will gladly say they're true hippies, in the sense of it's all about love and peace. And they've always just taught me to always give and be there for other people, and that it truly does come back. And it always has in my life, personal and professional. As long as I have followed those principles, I have been successful. Anytime I veered off that path, I learned a lesson.
Yeah, I believe. I believe. I mean, if you give, you end up getting. And even if you don't want to necessarily get, in the end, it ends up working out. I believe in karma.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Energy. I love
Yeah.
that energy flow.
Totally. Totally. Wow, Amanda. Thank you very much for all those
Yeah.
people out there. Get a hold of Amanda, man. Social media. She's social media star. Also, you'll see her out there. She's taking all these cool little pictures I've been noticing lately. Nice work. Anyway, once again, this is Ken French, Vast Voice, telling business secrets to entrepreneurs. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.